Hello, welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen. I'm currently in my basement, if you didn't already know that. And it is time to get the photos under control. Whoops. I know some of you must be screaming amen at your screens right now. So I actually have to bring one of my daughters to a job interview. So I only have about 15 minutes. So what I am doing is I'm getting my area all set up. So a lot of times we don't start anything because we don't have enough time. And that's not going to be this whole video. Trust me. I'm going to do some photos. But for this moment, my goal right now is to just get myself a little spot and get it all set up so that it'll be easy for me to come down here and get working on the photos. Here is the mess right here, and I don't even remember where I have what I was working on before, so that is what I need to figure out. So I'm going to put the albums on a shelf, and then loose pictures are going to go, actually I'm going to put the albums on a shelf. Is that what I said? I'm going to put the albums on a shelf, and then I'm dealing with loose pictures right now. I probably do need to take all pictures out of frames, but that's not going to happen right now either. It's so hard to know what to do with 8x10s if you're not planning to put them back on the wall. I guess you got to get rid of them at some point. It's hard. But especially if you have a smaller version of them, there's really no reason to keep them. And then what I was doing was I was making, I was splitting in between the kids that were in it, and I was keeping back some for myself, but I'm going to change that. I'm not necessarily going to do it that way. What I think I am going to do is anything that has more than one person will go in a separate box, and then I can split them up. And then anything, and then I'm just going to separate it all, and then if I want some, once they're all separated, I might go through and grab a few and make one album for myself and get rid of the rest. I do predict that photos are going to come out of albums. And I think this is all albums, so I don't really need to deal with it. These are like Christmas cards. Alright, so this is all albums. So I'll move this now that I can actually lift it. Got some loose pictures in here. These are also all albums. Oh, wait. These are the boxes I separated out. So this is what I really was looking for. This also. Woo! All right. Let's empty this out. See, this is the work before the work that I just don't often have the heart for. It's not about time. It's totally about motivation. All right, so this has the boxes of photos that I was looking for. And so I'll move that over near the desk, and then when I come back, let's try that again. So I found the box that has the boxes of photos that I was going through. So I'm going to put those beside the table, and then when I come back, I'll be all ready to get going again. So it's unglamorous. I've procrastinated it, but it's the photos and also homeschool papers. Those are the two areas I really need to get cracking on. What area are you really procrastinating on? Could you even today, don't do the declutter, but could you set it up so that you're ready to just go and do it? Could you get it ready? That would be a great goal. So if there's something you've been procrastinating on and you're going to get it ready so that you can do it, let me know in the comment section below. Day 2. So I'm going to get this ready to go. I'm going to put aside big pictures. I think I was wearing this yesterday. Was I wearing this shirt yesterday? I think I was. Oh well. This was... I feel like I kind of need to redo all of this. This might have been the ones I... Actually, I think these were the ones I wanted from me. But I'm going to redo all of this. This is going to be the box when I have multiple kids together. So, don't know what this is. I can't imagine a job I dislike more. I should like it, but I don't. All right, I'm going to go from here on out with this stuff. So if it's multiple kids, it's going to go in here, and then I can divvy them up after. And I was doing my 3 oldest kids, which I'll explain later, but I don't really want to talk loud enough to explain it right now. So this is just going to be chuck, chuck, chuck. Chuckity chuck. I'm missing my oldest. I think I gave him actually a box. So that would mean I don't have a box for him right now. Because I gave him what I had sorted so far. Because he happened to come visit me. So this will be his box for now. Or if it's, say, a picture of my husband, I'm going to put it in here. And then I can decide if there's ones I want to get made up for all of the kids or not. And then the ones where it's the 3 of them will go here. And then uncover my trash bag. Because there's some, like, of people that I'm not close to, or it's just so long ago it's not relevant. Or maybe people gave me pictures of their kids, and it's just not people I'm close to anymore, or it's not relevant to have those pictures. Yeah, these are all of multiple kids, so I must have already separated them out. So I'm just gonna get those in here. This has been a really hard declutter for me. I started this months ago and I stopped. And there was some issues where I didn't really understand how I could make a video out of it that anybody would want to watch. And then there were some other emotional issues that I had with it. I felt like, you know, when you have older kids, or let's say the firstborn, you tend to take a ton of pictures, and then by the time you get to the lastborn, there's not a ton of pictures. And I was the 3rd in my family, so there was a lot less pictures of me than there were of my sisters, which kind of bothered me a little bit. And then my mom explained that, you know, we had 3 kids instead of 1 kid, or instead of 2 kids, it just gets more expensive. We get busier, and so developing photos gets harder. And I understood that. And honestly, as an adult now, it matters to me like 0, not at all. There's definitely perspective as you get older. And then in my family, so I had my firstborn and, well, my first 3 kids were in the time period, there was my husband in the way, we're in the time period when we were still developing photographs. And honestly, the quality of photographs, you can tell. I mean, the quality in a lot of these photos is really terrible. My thumb's in the way, or there's half of it is black and half of it is regular, because I had this old Pentax camera that was my husband's husbands, and the film wasn't advancing the way it was supposed to advance. And so it was causing a double exposure. It was causing half of the picture to be blacked out and half of it to be regular. Then there was the whole disposable camera thing. You know, those weren't the best quality. It wasn't until we brought in our 4 younger kids, had 4 more kids, that I actually got a decent camera. And by then it was digital, because there is 5 years between my daughter Rachel and our son Francois. That's number 1. So we were back in the digital age. Plus, I didn't meet my oldest of the younger set of kids. He was 9 when I met him, because my younger 4 kids are adopted. So I don't have any pictures that predate our time with them. Just a few, and then everything I have is digital and on computer. So I had taken a break from sorting out the physical copies that I'm doing right now, and I had tried to gather the digital pictures of my younger 4, thinking I want to give pictures to all 7 of them at once, any childhood pictures that I have of them. So I really got deep in the mire of trying to gather the digital photos. And then I'm like, okay, where's that hard drive? There's just so many things. And what I should have done is I should have been printing as I was gathering and just taking notes or something, or putting in files online or on my computer, the ones I had already got printed. You know, I'm not naturally good at these things, but I just didn't want to hurt my younger kids' feelings that I have literally hundreds of physical copies of photos of my older 3 kids, and it's a sensitive situation. So I have just come to realize I've got to get the heck over it, and I've got to find a way to start getting copies of the digital photos. And there's a large part of even my older kids' lives that are not physically copied, that are also digital. So finding out what is important to them. And now that they're all older, with the digital photos, what I can be doing is emailing them a link to all the digital photos, and I can let them pick the ones they want copies of now, and they can, and I can even offer to pay for those to be printed. So that is probably what I'm going to do. And a lot of them will go through, say, my personal Facebook page, and they'll copy whatever pictures they want to their phones. But I think what I'll do is offer to get copied any photos they would like to have. And I'll handle it this way. And then any physical copies, I am just bullet, rifling through those, getting them sorted. And so that's what I'm doing now. And any family pictures are being held aside. Pictures of myself and my husband, without the kids in them. Pictures of our parents, any past generations that we might have. And then pictures that are just in terrible quality, or they're people that aren't in our lives anymore. Or maybe they are in our lives, but we don't technically need a picture of when they were 2, when they were 3, when they were 4. It comes a time. Or I might find like 4 pictures of a Christmas tree, and no one's even standing in front of the Christmas tree. I don't have any dates written on the back of the photos. I mean, I have been deplorable when it comes to storage of photos. I will say the interesting thing is, and maybe it's partly the climate of where I live, being in Maine, I do not have a wet basement. My basement is very dry. If anything, we have very dry air, especially in the winter. So I don't have any photos that are damaged from being in the basement, even though they have literally been down here for years. But getting them sorted means I'm going to be getting them out of the basement, which is a good thing. And I really hope I can just get a sampling of each year for myself, put it in an album or 2. I don't want a lot of photos. We just don't ever look at them. But it'd be great to either do a photo album or a book. It would be great to have like a coffee table book that people could be paging through. I do think that would get used. I just don't see the purpose in having tons and tons of photos. So, let me know what you're doing. I think as I get older, I get perspective on, hey, we're not looking at these. There's no reason to have them. And I'm getting a perspective on how to handle the generation that had physical photos versus the generation that had digital photos, and how my parenting has spanned the two. Honestly, often I am more sensitive about these things than the people that I'm worried about. I'm always worried that I'm hurting feelings, and that isn't usually the time when I hurt feelings. It's usually when I don't intend to hurt feelings that I hurt feelings. So it's just a task I have to get through. I would love to hear. I know a lot of you have already done your photos, and I envy you to the hills, but some of you are like me and are still working it out. My camera clicked off. It'll only go so long on a clip and then it clicks off. Drives me crazy. So I have no idea when it clicked off. So let me show you what I got done. I had this like stack of photos, and then I got a box completely sorted. I got like the stack. I got this box was completely full. I got it emptied. This is like pictures of just my husband or just myself or grandparents or something. And then if there's more than one child in it, then I'm just holding it aside and I can divvy them up later. This is my oldest, my second born, my third born. This is some like all the family, as well as some that I would like give to Francois. So that's good for today. So obviously it's older. That's why it's just my older three. And then, you know, what I explained to you in the voiceover. So albums are here. There's framed pictures here, albums here. I haven't decided what to do with. Oh, and look, I was looking for my all-purpose cleaner, and there it is. Now I want to do some cleaning down here. So my goal was, 20 minutes to 30 minutes sorting pictures and then do some cleaning. And the next time I can come down here, I'll just pick right up where I left off. I'm going to get this mess of cans and bottles cleaned up. This is a constant problem. We just chuck them down the stairs. I have to say I started that bad habit. Now I regret it. Usually when I do the cleaning section of the basement, my cleaning time, I do vacuuming the ceiling. I'm not going to get to that today. The reason I vacuum the ceiling is because the rafters are open, and so there's a lot of cobwebs, and I'm just trying to get that under control. But this day I noticed that one side of the floor really needed to be swept. It also happens to be the side where we have the cat boxes. So you never see people scooping cat boxes on their cleaning videos. Have you ever noticed that? If you want to see me scoop a cat box, let me know, and I'm your girl. I also wanted to get the piano dusted. My husband does play this digital piano that we have. I wanted to get rid of the piano because we also have an electric piano, but I'm not going to make someone get rid of it if they're not ready. So I'm getting this tidied up and cleaned off and getting it nice and dusted. More photos. No. I'm not quite sure how the photos bled over to this area. I'll also wipe down anything that I just happen to see as I'm sweeping. And then the stairs, the basement stairs, have been bugging me for literal months. And half the time I'm waiting until I'm doing a video to clean them off, and half the time I'm doing a video in the basement and completely forgetting that I want to clean them off. So today is the day, and I don't think I've ever done those stairs, honestly. I don't think I have, or if I have, it has been literal years. You might notice a big mess on the floor. Right there was before the shelf, and that is from my husband doing the upstairs bathroom and just kind of plunking his things down. I really want to get his tools and stuff organized, but I feel like I need his help, and I don't want to take him away from doing the bathroom in order to get his help. I don't know if I should just dive in and try to organize it the best I can, label it good, and then we can always reorganize it when he's available. That might be what has to happen here. I used to have the biggest section right here of empty boxes to pull from as I was organizing, but between getting rid of some and also using some, I don't have much left. Those tall-ish brown boxes, those are shoe boxes, so I have kept those in case we need them. And then I have some under the bed storage boxes, some with wheels. Those are kind of hard for me to get rid of because I always feel like somebody's going to want them, and then I'm going to wish I didn't declutter them. And then there's some things in the basement that we do need to declutter that I need my husband's help with. One of those would be a storage cabinet. So this is my stairs going up into the kitchen from the basement. I will say this video does not give it justice to how dirty, especially where the stair meets the back of the stair, you're going to see me scrape kind of my finger across, and that's because there's just globs of cat hair with dirt and such mixed in with it. So I'm kind of like pulling it out so I can get it with the vacuum, and then I get part way down, like a couple more stairs, and my vacuum is just clogged. There's so much dirt and hair that I had to go upstairs and empty it. And what happens to this Dyson is if it's too full, it gets kind of driven up into the vacuum and blocks the filter. And then the vacuum starts giving me messages that it's clogged. And it took me, I don't show it here. I kind of wish I had. I swear it took me 10 minutes. I had digging it out with a butter knife, and I was doing all kinds of things just to get all of the dirt, debris, and cat hair unclogged from this vacuum. It was quite a mess. And not only is it really hard to even justify how terrible these stairs were, but the difference when I show you the after, it actually looks way better now than it does on camera. This was super satisfying, and it was a great way to end my little clean because it was so terribly satisfying. Now you'll notice up in the left corner, YouTube is telling you about a video I have done that they think that you would enjoy. If you want to click on that, I'll meet you over there. If you found value in this, go ahead and click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, and join our wonderful, positive family here on YouTube. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.